In this video, we got another episode of this series where I do rate and improve your guys' teams. You guys will send me your teams over on Twitter at xevantanaka. I'll usually put out a tweet every 3 or 4 days or so. You guys will just reply to that tweet with the team that you guys obviously are rocking with, how much MT you guys have, and then I'll usually pick about 6 squads from that tweet, and then I'll put them obviously in this video. So if you guys want a chance to be featured in one of these videos, make sure to head on over to Twitter again at xevantanaka. Look out for that tweet in the next 3 to 4 days, and then obviously reply with your team and how much MT you guys have. We're looking at the first squad on the of the video here, coming in from my boy Jet. He's got 600,000 MT. He's looking to upgrade his bench wings, and this is a really good team off the bat. Like, you got Penny, PG, Chris Webber, Dwight, Wilt. Like the starting 5, even off the bench, you got cards like Tim Duncan and Dikembe in your front court is insanely good to have. You know, I do like Jabari Smith, I like Devin Booker. I'm really just looking at your small forward position of a place where you really need to upgrade. And if you're willing to spend a lot of that 600k, I think going out and getting a Dark Matter Beasley would be a huge upgrade over Karl Malone, and that would realistically only be the upgrade you need to make. Now, if you wanted to make other upgrades, you can maybe look for a better backup shooting guard. You could go out and get a Dark Matter Franz, a Dark Matter Amen Thompson, a Dark Matter, probably LaMarcus Aldridge. Yeah, you could afford him as well. So it just really depends how much MT you're looking to spend. I would personally just get Dark Matter Beasley and call it a day. If you want to go cheaper, maybe go like Dark Matter Amen Thompson over Jabari Smith, and go like Dark Matter Luol Deng or Dark Matter AK. I just got AK on the no money spent. I'm not going to say for how much, but I got him for like a cheap price. Really not that much more than 100k. Like, if you get AK and Amen Thompson, you're maybe spending like 300,000 MT at the most, and you're getting 2 really good cards that I think are going to be a huge upgrade over Jabari Smith Jr. and Karl Malone. Now, looking at the next team, guys, sent in from Questionable Points, I think is Arcuda is his name. I probably mispronounced both of those, to be honest. 180,000 MT to work with, gonna get PG in a week, all unsellable except Dominique. So Dominique, if I'm being completely honest, unless you're like a huge Dominique fan or you really love that card, go ahead and sell him, man. I just don't think he's that great, and I'll give you a point guard suggestion here in a second. Now, looking at the rest of your squad, if you're going to get Paul George, I'm just going to give you the suggestions, assuming that you have Paul George at your starting shooting guard position, and I think your starting lineup is fine. I like the addition of Paul George, obviously there, over Jerome Kersey. You got Josh Giddey, PG, AK, Tim Duncan, D-Rob. I think you can leave it at that. Call it a day. Your starting lineup is really good. Now, I would say for your bench, you really want to upgrade your backup point guard, your backup shooting guard position, and then I would move Donovan Clingan to your center position and get rid of Roy Hibberts. I think Roy Hibbert's good, but for this type of squad, I think with about like, if you were to sell Dominique, you have like over 200k to work with, and I do think you can make some huge upgrades with that amount of MT. So starting at the power forward position, I think just some simple upgrades like Dino Raja for 30k, or maybe Miles Turner for 50k, really cheap but simple upgrades to make, that I do think will be a huge addition next to Donovan Clingan in the front court. And then for your backup shooting guard position, you could go simples like a Jabari Smith Jr., a Pink Diamond Dr. J. One of those 2 shooting guards are really good for their price. If you really like Jerome Kersey or Tar Eason, I think they're very solid cards, so you could end up keeping them. But I'm telling you guys, go get Galaxy Opal Evan Turner. He is an absolute beast. I would go Evan Turner backup point guard, I would go Jabari Smith Jr. backup shooting guard, and then I move Clingan to the 5 like I mentioned, and then I would get, let's just say, Dino Raja to save you some MT as your backup power forward. Now, looking at the next squad, guys, sent in by Sweetermans, because how you pronounce his gamer tag and his Twitter name, I guess. Need a backup point guard, Evan. Other than that, what would you change? Willing to spend 300 to 400k. I like when people tell me how much they're actually willing to spend. You guys don't mind doing that, just because you might have a million MT like him, but you don't want me to spend all of the million MT. I'm not really sure how much you guys want to upgrade on your squad, how much you're willing to spend. So now I know my budget's 300 to 400k. I can now make the appropriate upgrades with that amount of MT. And looking at your squad, I'm really seeing obviously the point guard gap. You do need a backup point guard. I think for that position, honestly, just get Galaxy Opal Denny or Galaxy Opal Bogut, whoever you prefer. Maybe even Dark Matter Stephon Castle as another option. I personally would go Galaxy Opal Denny. He's like 150 to 200k, you know, just for a base one, and I think he's really good as a 6'9" point guard, as an elite level jump shot. I think you could do that and call it a day. Now, if you wanted to continue making upgrades, you could, but with 300 400k, if you're spending 150k of that on, let's say, Galaxy Opal Denny, not really other positions you can upgrade. So I'm realistically just going to say go get Galaxy Opal Denny. I think that's the realistic upgrade for your squad. Now, looking at the next team here, sent in from Charles Charles is how you pronounce his name. Charles Ramirez. No, I don't know. I'm horrible with pronouncing names. He's got 300,000 MT to work with, needs a new small forward and center. What would you recommend? So I would say we need a little bit more than just a small forward and a center, but I think it's a decent team overall. Like, you got Tim Duncan, you got Josh Giddey, Jabari I like, Klingon, Moses Malone. So what I would do is, again, I'm not a huge fan of Roy Hibbert, but if you want to keep this duo, then I say we bring it off the bench, right? Have Jeff Green and Roy Hibbert as your backup small forward and your backup center. Start Donovan Klingon next to Tim Duncan. I think that's perfectly good to go. Now, so you need a new starting shooting guard, in my opinion, and a new starting small forward. For those two positions, there are a lot of different upgrades you can go with. I would recommend personally Pink Diamond Beasley for your starting small forward. He's like 40k. He's just such a good offensive card, and he's going to be amazing for your type of team, and that allows you to spend more MT on a shooting guard. Go get a Dark Matter Franz, a Dark Matter Mike Miller is really good as well, or you could go Amen Thompson, LaMarcus Aldridge. There's a bunch of different routes you could go with. Out of those, I really like Mike Miller. Honestly, if you want to save some MT, just go get a Dark Matter Mike Miller at your shooting guard position, but I think Franz, Amen Thompson, LaMarcus Aldridge are also really good choices. And then I would say the only other position you really need to upgrade is your backup point guard. I'm not a huge fan of LaMelo, so there's, you know, some cheaper options like Evan Turner, Dyson Daniels, you know, Alex Caruso. Those are very cheap options. You could obviously spend some more MT, try to get a Bogut, try to get a Denny if you're not going too expensive on the shooting guard position. But even just getting a budget point guard like Evan Turner or Dyson Daniels, to me, is going to make a huge upgrade. Evan Turner probably over Dyson Daniels, since you need a little bit more of offense, but those are my suggestions for your team. Looking at the next squad, guys, sent in by Baby Pluto, or Boxon as his gamer tag. He says, or he's got 400,000 MT to work with. He's grinding Dom at the moment, obviously try to make some more MT. And I think with 400k, there's a lot of upgrades you can make on this squad. I would realistically only keep a couple cards on this team. Like, you could keep Ron Artest and Rocco as your two shooting guards. I like your front core of Tim Duncan and Kareem. That's perfectly fine. I wish you had Donovan Klingon for your backup center position. That's definitely somewhere you need to upgrade. So I would just get Pink Diamond Wemby for your backup center. For your backup power forward, let's go Galaxy Opal Miles Turner. That's going to cost you about 150k for both of those cards. But now you're going to have your front court good to go in your starting lineup and on your bench. Small forward position, we're not going to have any right now because we're moving Ron Artest and Rocco to the shooting guard position. So we need two new small forwards. We have about 250k. For two small forwards, go get Luol Deng, go get Michael Beasley. That's another 150k, maybe a little bit more. But we'll just say 150k for easier math. So now you have 100,000 MT left, and you really only need maybe one point guard. Austin Reeves could probably still run as your backup point guard, but 100,000 MT for 2 point guards. Dyson Daniels, you already have him, is really good. You could run him as your backup point guard. You know, Evan Turner, somebody I always recommend. There's Bogut as well, really good point guard. I think for this type of squad, I would probably just keep Austin Reeves and Dyson Daniels just to save some MT for your specific team. But if you want to save up for like a Denny Avia, that could be a really good decision as well. And then, guys, the last team here sent in by Jake. Looking at his squad, he's got 1.9 million MT and a decent team, decent squad. But with 1.9 mil, go get yourself Dark Matter Dikembe. He's going to be a huge upgrade over Chet, and I would probably run Chet as the backup power forward over D-Rob. Then your front court's good to go. I think your shooting guards and your point guards are fine. I would just say you need two small forwards, and if you want to go big, go get a Dark Matter Beasley, go get like a Dark Matter Tim Thomas, a Dark Matter AK, Dark Matter Luol Deng. One of those small forwards I think is going to be a huge upgrade. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for the video where I do help improve your guys' teams. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you want to comment your team down below, you guys can as well, and I'll try to look at your guys' squads and give you guys some upgrades and some suggestions. But hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.